Nice.
Nice.
Okay, Debbie, talk. I think
Why
I
am I
can.
not on the video?
Oh,
What was the spread
decided.
like down here?
You,
You're not on at all?
yes, I'm on. They can hear me, but they can't see me. I've got my tech person with me now.
Okay,
the share
guys,
screen?
I had my speaker muted from last
Oh,
night. I'm so sorry.
Disable screen sharing.
That's all it was.
Great.
Who's the
Okay.
host?
Tom, do you remember the thing about some people should be seen and not heard?
Yeah, thank you. I would much rather not be seen.
Pretend
In
I'm
your
clapping.
case,
Forgive me, guys.
That was a good one.
Recording.
But can you guys see the mute and unmute on your corner of your screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can you hear us?
I can hear you now. I had speaker completely muted because I was listening to something. I was watching something last night.
Oh, of course.
You can tell them. Here.
multitasking.
What's reaction?
It
Al
says,
hasn't joined yet.
Highly overrated. Highly
it
overrated.
said unmute yourself, and I thought, I am unmuted. What's the matter with
that.
you? You can hear me.
Show to them.
So
Reading,
my-
The
but
one that just showed up. The host.
Okay,
Al hasn't joined back yet.
Debbie.
Tom has a message here.
Now Al's
I
here.
have, may I speak now?
Yes.
No.
Deb, I have a Zoom post here that says host disabled participant screen sharing with me.
no, I didn't, but
Well,
Don't take that personal.
that's what I'm showing. Host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, well,
well,
I'm not.
because you're not
But-
sharing your screen.
That's okay.
Okay.
You don't need to see me. I can hear.
No, you
That's not it.
you should look at your video. If you look at your video down below, you must be off a video. What it's saying is I'm not letting you come in here and show us a PowerPoint that you have on your screen. It doesn't mean we're not letting you come
Hit
through.
the arrow. Arrow.
So down at the bottom, it says stop video or start video. At the
Yes. What do you
There's a
want me to-
arrow.
Go
What do
ahead.
you want?
Click on the arrow.
Yes. What do you want now?
I believe you go to video settings
Like HP
Yes.
0.3.
and then you put on,
What next? I'm there.
I've got an easy camera where mine is checked.
Yeah, mine's already checked on HP 0.3. MP.
Enable HD.
no, it's the very first thing, your camera.
Okay.
What kind of computer you got?
Mine shows HP,
HP.
True Vision
Check that
HD.
one.
Yeah, try that one.
That's what mine is, HP.
Put that 16:9 widescreen.
Yes.
Okay, click it.
I don't have all that.
Doesn't do anything.
Well, it's nothing that I shut off, Tom. I promise.
Here's my
you.
video. What else is on here?
Okay.
Debbie, can you hear us? She's here, but I'm not sure if she's really here. Okay. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get started.
Please.
I'm going to forego we'll call the meeting to order, but I'm going to forego the music tonight. But I'd like you guys to listen to a song that is, I believe it's Zach Williams and Dolly Parton, and it's There Is Jesus. And it's just a song about that Jesus is everywhere, okay? So in lieu of that, we will move on. So approval of agenda, we have some things to add in the discernment, items for discernment. So Linda, could you talk about that?
I can. But I am only going to talk about this if you all promise to have something of discernment to bring the next time, because I'm sick and tired of being the only one with this kind of. Okay. The first thing that I would like to ask is, can we move the services for the month of October to 10 a.m.? Because we are planning on being outside and getting temperatures a little warmer. Because we did not see any flux with going inside. So we might as well be meeting outside, keeping everybody safe.
Let's see, because I didn't.
Okay, comments? I
It's
like the
fine with
idea.
me.
Sounds good.
But you-
In case of rain, will we come inside?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
So we'll still have church.
inside or out.
Yeah. Everybody in favor of that? Or any more discussion? Okay, so we need a motion and a second as usual. What you
I
guys,
can move that we have church outside for October
At 10 a.m.
at 10 a.m. Come inside if it's raining.
okay? Is there a second?
I'll second that as long as really cold would be included as well as raining.
But yeah, snow cover,
okay.
yeah.
Yes.
What is really cold?
Frosty.
Well, think of a football game. Bring a blanket if it's cold.
I know, but if you're 89.
But cold is relative, so what do you want to say is,
Yeah.
Oh,
Deb, I'm just saying if you're 89 and you're carrying your chair and you have a cane and you've got to carry a blanket, that's a
Yes.
lot for frail old people. They just won't come. So
I'll wash this in.
I don't know. I'd say if it's below 45.
Okay, I like that.
Right?
What do you guys think of that? Because if you get a little breeze on top of it, that'll take your wind chill down into the 30s easy.
Yeah, 45, even with the wind chill, it's got to be at least 45 degrees.
Sounds good to me. Can we amend it to that?
For the month of October.
yeah.
Okay. So Janet, you will second that with that amendment?
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
will.
Okay. And we'll just kind of look ahead. I mean, the forecasters are pretty accurate, except when they said Friday night it was going to quit so we could watch the football game. It didn't quit. But anyway, neither here nor there. But
Is the rest of September still at 9 o'clock then?
Yes.
yes. So we have 2 Sundays. The way we looked at it at worship committee is we have 2 Sundays. We have 2 Sundays to get people used to the idea that October is going to be an hour later.
Okay, yes. It'll be in the newsletter.
Okay? So a
Yes.
second, we got a motion and a second.
Mhm.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Won't come in on night.
Aye.
And all those against? Okay, motion passed. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, we kind of ran it right into items for discernment. We really didn't talk about July meeting minutes, forgive me. I skipped right over that. Well, can we do the rest of the items for discernment and then come back to that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, so other items.
Okay,
Into the future.
I have found out that the city of Dysart is going to allow trick-or-treating this for October 31st from 5 to 7. In lieu of having kids come indoor, we are talking about, outreach has got a vote on it, on several different things, but the main thing is that I need to know, can I poll the church for things like pencils, erasers, candy? I mean, not so heavy on the candy, but, you know, things that we can put in bags that we can just hand each kid a bag as they go by. Are we open to that? Can I ask the church body?
You're asking for donations or just if that's okay?
Donations.
Donation.
Well, they can either donate physically things, or they can donate money that we can go out and buy things.
You think that would be better?
Tell me, what do you think?
How about the books? I'm sorry, I'm kind of changing the subject here.
No, that we need 160 books and they average $1 a book.
I was thinking that Becky usually has a hoard of those. You think?
Well, usually it's UMW that covers it, or Missions, one
Okay.
of them.
Okay,
And then,
Probably missions.
Probably. And then we have different people that have always had tables, but our number of tables is going down. And so in lieu of them having a table, can they bring stuff? And we can fill bags like 3 days ahead of time and get them all filled and then hand them out. And so that's one of because this has not gone through my outreach group, I am asking solely for one thing. If they choose to do something that requires handing out a bag, can we poll the congregation for donations?
What are your thoughts?
Yes.
Sure. It's always been open for the congregation to have a table, so
Okay.
I agree. They can participate if they want to.
that's optional.
Yeah.
Pass the plate or?
So do we
Not
need to
exactly,
vote on
but
that too, or is it you just asking to go forward and find out what the committee wants, right?
Yes. I mean, it's kind of one of these deals where I kind of need to know it before. I'm putting the cart before the horse is what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so I need to know that.
So do we need a vote, guys?
Well, I would just say if the outreach committee decides to do it, and they would decide how to collect the money, put 2 pumpkins at the back of the church. And, nobody would be pressured. I don't know, since we've had a history of doing trick or treat, I don't know that council needs to vote on it, but
Okay, good. Great.
it's
Wonderful.
like we invite
Okay.
people to have a table, like Marcia said, you're invited to donate. So
Okay.
I just think it'd be easier to fill your bags if you just got a cash donation and could buy the same stuff to put in, or, for this
Yeah.
age group and that age group, rather than having some Tootsie Rolls, some, bubble gum, whatever.
Yeah.
That would
I
hard
agree.
to divide up.
I agree.
So we'll pass that along to the outreach committee. And that's
Yeah,
good
we could
enough,
just
and
make our suggestions,
we're going to trust them, correct?
Yes.
I would say.
Okay.
Now number 3, and then I've got no more. At worship tonight, we spoke about how do we have a Christmas program in this day and time where we are typically shoulder to shoulder in the church and then some. One of the ways, and actually the way that we are moving forward as of this moment, is to have a live nativity around the outside of the church. It would be the north side off the parking lot, around all the way to the west entry. And it would be stations as though you are moving through Bethlehem, and then around too. It will require a lot of work. It will require a lot of people. It will require a lot of everything. And the main thing, Jeff Knupp, that it is going to be requiring is some means in which to nail down a 20-foot blue spruce Christmas tree.
Outside?
There's no way we can get a 20-foot blue spruce Christmas tree in the church. It's getting it out of the church that is never good.
Mhm.
Image. I mean, that's part of the, well, and if I can interject here for just a minute, when she was talking to us about it at the worship committee meeting, and when I heard live nativity, I thought it was a set nativity scene, but that is not what this is. So if you could elaborate a little bit more on what the stations were, Linda,
Okay.
is that okay with everybody? It'll give you a better picture of what we're talking about.
Family unit, people unit will come in from the parking lot, will come up from the parking lot on the north side of the building.
And this
And
is,
as they
this
come,
is, can I interrupt a minute? This is on
Yes.
Christmas Eve. This is not going to
Christmas
be
Eve
3 or 4 weekends. It's going to be on Christmas Eve.
only. So they will come up and they will be met by centurions, big guys with spears. And they will be asked if they have made the census. And there'll be somebody behind them, they'll say their names and they check them off. Well, it's not really. And so then they're allowed to move through. And they will meet a money changer who's all excited about all the money that they're collecting for this. They'll go into that alcove by the original front doors, and that's where the tree needs to be, Jeff. Because I think we have Trista, and there will be choir, and there'll be shepherds and animals. They'll move from that to a couple. No, it's before that. There's an older woman and her daughter who are on their way because they've heard that the Messiah is coming. The Messiah is coming. So people are walking by and they're repeating their lines. Obviously, as each group passes by, they're repeating their lines. But the choir can kind of sing the whole time. And they're in that alcove with the shepherds and the animals. And then on down, they meet a carpenter who's been asked to make a cradle, and he only knows how to make mangers. And then we're going to go to another area where there is some wise men, and they know that they have been following this star. And has anyone heard where the Messiah is? They have followed the star. Then we're going to go to the innkeeper and his wife are having a huge debate about how I can't believe you did this to me. You've got people in the barn. I've got a house full of people already, you know, and so she's really livid about it. And then they'll go down that walkway to the west entry. And in that area where we have the peace poles, we will have a nativity scene, a creche, and we will have somebody leading them in Silent Night in that area. Couple of animals, some shepherds. It will look like the scene. They'll come out of that, and at the west doors of the fellowship center, we'll have people who are handing out cider, warm cider. They can have their warm cider, candy cane, and hopefully leave an offering. And so that would be the whole system of what they would be going through. And so it is a journey through Bethlehem as it goes. But we're talking a minimum of 20 people. Minimum. Probably closer to 30 people doing it. That's it. So if indeed, regardless, we're not going to get that 20-foot Christmas tree in that church. So regardless, I need a stake in the ground where we can drill a hole up that tree and then just slip it over that stake and then maybe gird it up with some other boards.
Probably have to have some cable. That could be done.
Yeah, I think it can. Okay, so everybody's looking at me like deer in the
What's your
headlights.
thoughts?
What time of day would that start? Do you
Same
have
time as our Christmas Eve service at 4 o'clock.
Okay. I haven't been here for Christmas for so long.
That's right, you haven't. You need to fly home for that.
And then how long do you have it run?
For a whole solid hour or better.
Oh,
As
yeah.
long as there are people coming.
I thought they might take over an hour because you're only going to let so many people walk through at a time, right?
Well, but once one party gets through one area, then you've got another party that can start. You know, like every 6 feet, literally, or 6 to 10 feet, you can send another set. And people can go in family units,
Yeah. Okay.
preferably in family units.
So when they get to the west doors and get their cider, are they just supposed to walk down the west sidewalk, or how do they get back to the?
Yeah, they're going to come back around and down that west sidewalk on the other side of the actors.
Okay.
I mean, that's all to be, you know, that's not finalized. It'll
Yeah.
be a flow that'll work, put it that way.
Yeah.
I was thinking it would go for a couple hours, and I was thinking it would be, well, will it be dark at 4?
by the time 5 o'clock comes, it will be dark.
Yeah, it's dark at 5, not dark at 4.
Yeah, I didn't think our services started at 4.
They haven't
they?
started for before.
They
They
have,
have it? Okay, then we start at 5 and we run to 7.
Well, we could start it at 4. This
Yeah.
is totally different.
Might be warmer.
And we're walking outside on uneven ground. I think that might be better.
Shouldn't be too uneven because we should be on sidewalk the whole way.
Well, sometimes
Oh,
there's
no, we won't. There's one spot.
and sometimes there's snow up to our knees by then.
Yeah.
That's why we have trustees and they dig out all that snow, right?
Paul Peterson's.
yes, I will put you on the phone, just a minute. Marilyn can't join us by Zoom, so I'm gonna put her so that she can hear you guys and she can talk to.
Yes.
Okay, so I've got you on speaker, Marilyn.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So are we kind of dumbfounded?
What?
Should be.
We're talking about having a live nativity on Christmas Eve from, let's say, 5 to 7. And people would come through it and go from station to station to station. And it's going to take about 20 to 30 people to do it. So we're trying to decide if the council says, let's do it.
Would this be outside or inside?
Both. Mostly out.
Oh, it's all.
No, it's all outside.
It's all outside. Okay, I'm sorry, it's all outside. I thought they came through one point to get the cider.
No.
Okay, yeah, it's all outside.
All right.
So that's what we're
Okay.
talking about. We just talked about it at worship committee this afternoon, late this afternoon, so.
Sounds like a great opportunity to draw people from the community outside.
Yeah, well, what we talked about is it's a lot more, number one, not the number one reason, but we've got to think about our finances. Usually Christmas Eve is a very good offering, but also so much more meaningful than a kid's play or, I mean, even the choir singing. You know, when it's for a family and their children, they're going to understand the story.
To experience it. It's like living history.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Becky. Becky just
Becky.
talked to us. Great. So we're just talking.
Doesn't,
Go ahead.
the Geneseo Church has done this in the past, haven't they?
Well, there's just a scene that sits there.
With animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, this one has stations.
I see.
First of all, they come in and they're greeted by centurions and they're checking to make sure that they're on the list to come into Bethlehem, come into Jerusalem, Bethlehem. Which one?
Bethlehem.
Bethlehem. You know, they're taking the
Bethlehem.
census. This is the year of the census, so I think that should be meaningful in itself.
There you go. I never thought about that. Well, I think we need to have Marcia Nupp then at the table, taken as a census taker.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
But I think we have enough at our worship committee. There wasn't a whole lot of us, but Debbie, Becky, I, Kathy Schuhart, and Linda were there, and I think we all were in favor of it. So what are your guys' thoughts?
Tom's thought is, since nobody else has a better idea, this sounds like an outstanding idea.
Yeah.
However, I am always open to a better idea.
I don't have any.
Will we involve any children as actors?
Amen. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See who's the
Every
great-
age group.
Yeah. Community theater.
Yeah. Well, seriously, it could be. It could, I mean, and any volunteers that want to be involved. It doesn't have to be our church, does it, Linda?
No.
No.
That's
However many.
I see no problem finding enough people. That's my opinion.
How about costumes? That'd be something that would be.
That's a big deal.
Expense probably
That's a big deal.
for those that can't just put a shawl over their head.
Yeah.
Right. It's a big deal. We do have a lot of costumes upstairs, but we probably don't have them big enough to go over coats.
Well, we got some big ones. We do have
we?
you're almost a lot of big ones because we did adults one time.
I think it's a
Sure.
good
At least
start. Put it that way.
But the you know, the armor or something, whatever.
The centurions need a lot of leather, like go to Goodwill,
have
buy
that.
some cheap leather coats and strip them down and make parts that make that. They are the most impressive
Yeah.
part of it. I mean, they set a mood.
Yeah.
Because they're the first ones there that they meet. And they need to have some kind of aggression, because this is an aggressive time. And then as the people move through, there's some comedy in it. You know, there's some room for some comedy, but there's still that motion of we're journeying to that baby being born.
Well, the one part is when they get to the innkeeper, the wife of the innkeeper, maybe you already said this, Linda, and I missed it. The wife of the innkeeper just throws a fit. She goes, there is no room here. So why are you bringing in and have a baby in the stable? And, you know, so I just think it could be really hammed up to make sense to people how it really was.
Would the Wolf Creek players, since Rita's on that yet, be interested in helping with that maybe? Can Rita hear me?
I don't know. We haven't talked
Would
about
you
it.
bring
We
it
didn't know
up?
about it, so.
No, I know you didn't. I didn't either.
Well, they would certainly be invited to help.
That would be
Yes,
great. you know,
amen. Yeah.
costumes and things. I don't know.
Well, I think we'd probably have a costume committee and, you know,
We'd have to.
Seamstresses, yeah.
but I think we have some to start out with. We have some basics, I think.
There's a lot.
Yes, there's a whole bunch upstairs.
Yep.
One of those glassed in.
Doesn't the Waterloo Community Theater Playhouse rent costumes out also?
Oh, yeah.
They do,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yep, that would be an option. Good idea, Marilyn.
I have a suggestion though. I think you should light up as many trees out there as possible for the lighting plus the ambiance of that. And in Arizona, this is, well, anyway, one of the churches, I won't say what kind it is, Mormon, but they have their Arizona temple right down the street from us. And it's been closed for a couple of years for construction, but they put on something similar to that. Only you can push a button and listen to the voice of when you're at, you know, a certain scene. They've got it pre-recorded, but they have angels up in the trees that are like,
Oh.
wow.
Yeah.
They just go all out with the decorations. So
Well, we could maybe
There's-
have luminaries
it's something to see.
along the sidewalk.
On the,
Yeah.
what
little lights.
delineates us from those people moving back to their cars is kind of like, if you know of anybody who has a goal, you know, like for soccer, those end goal things. And what you do is you put the Christmas lights that dangle, and then they're just dangling, and they actually make a wall of light that you can, so it doesn't cause stumbling. You have a wall of light that separates you from the other people going back to their vehicles.
Okay.
Mm.
So lots of options.
We are talking a lot of work.
Well, the lights you might want to put out in October then,
Yes, well, yeah.
because it
Start gathering lights in October, yes.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of lights we can't use here because we're not here, so I can bring some in if you need more.
Yes, yes. Although we'd really like for you to be here.
I would like to too. I'm not sure what we're going to get to do back in Arizona.
So how about a motion to, is there a motion to move forward? And this is really the worship committee, I think, leading the way, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we need the support of the church. And mostly what we're needing to know is this a doable alternative to what we used to do? Because we're not going to have a program. We're not going to, you know, a kids program. We're trying to think of something. Like Tom said, it's a great idea because nobody's got an idea.
I like it.
I'm just concerned that everything's outside. I'm just thinking of weather and people in wheelchairs or canes, and I just think part of it could be inside for some of the people and the scenes be outside. I'm just concerned for the weather and people if people can't walk
Too
across
complicated,
uneven
too
ground
much.
to come to the backyard, I just wonder about winter weather on the sidewalks and stuff.
Still got a little bit in it.
Al, you were saying?
It's way too complicated to get this
Yeah,
thing
like
worked
nice to
out
run down.
outside in the snow. I don't think it's feasible at all.
Inside, the only efforts we're gonna have is there's no inside, outside. The only outside thing would be the nativity. If we took them all the way through the inside, but we would have to then, we'd have to hold them. We'd have to have somebody who releases a car at a time. And then they'd have to go through the inside to get there. But it would be just a car at a time, a car at a time. Otherwise, we don't have the fresh air, we don't have a bunch of other things going on, you know, or they at least need to be 2 scenes ahead before you let the next group in. Which I'm not opposed to that. It's a very doable thing, but it'll be a little harder space-wise, but we can work something out.
Well, just think about all the kids that come through for trick or treating and boom, boom, boom. It doesn't take long.
No, but yeah, but hopefully they're stopping and listening and getting something out of it. The only thing we'd have then for outside is putting up that big Christmas tree outside. That'd be it.
You wouldn't have a
So-
scene outside, a living nativity outside.
The nativity would be the end one, but, and then I have to question that, because if we're doing that, then we might as well move them right into the fellowship center and out those doors, which are still gonna be walking. We can't have them come back through against people.
Okay, well, what if we start at the north doors and have a couple of scenes in the overflow room, and then a scene in the stone hallway, and then a couple in the fellowship hall, and then when they leave, they would just walk up the sidewalk. Walking from the west doors to the parking lot would be a lot less outside time for people than if the whole thing was outside. I just know for the choir, I remember singing at Christmas on Main, which is usually the first weekend in December, and it has been so cold sometimes to sing even 3 songs was about killing your throat. So it just depends on the weather. If it's cold, your angel singers would be dead. We'd
Okay.
be not able to sing outside.
Then, and I think these are all really good suggestions. And so I'm definitely ready to do it. I will tell you this, that there's a whole lot of work that goes on when it's inside, because we've got all the backdrops we've got to build.
Well, and you can't really take any live animals in probably either.
Probably a bad idea. I can't imagine Tammy would enjoy that. So we can have some, actually, one of the first things that we can have is shepherds outside with animals.
Yeah.
We
so
can
could
have
do
a
that
few
outside.
people
Yeah.
outside with that. And they would be right as people were coming in the west doors or the north doors, but everyone must come in the north doors.
Yeah. Well, so why would we have to build full sets and not just have the same type of set that would be outside? It'd be a vignette. You know, if you have a money counter, you would have the same kind of wooden table that the money counter outside would sit at.
We
You could-
do, but we don't want him up against a coat rack. Do you know
No,
what I'm saying?
it's not
So we've
in the
got to
middle of
build
the big
backdrop for that part. And
I
then
don't-
we go to the next and we've got to build to make
I
it fluid, trust
I
me.
don't think you'd need a backdrop. I agree you wouldn't
Okay.
want it against a
You guys,
coat
I'm
rack.
gonna interrupt.
Yeah, we're
I
going way
think
too long on this.
We're trying to figure it out for the committee. So I
Right.
think what we need now is a vote on whether we approve that the committee moves forward. We're down to 5 minutes in our first 40 minutes here.
Ugh.
So do we have a
I'm gonna move.
motion to trust the committee to move forward and determine what's going to work and go from there?
Sounds good.
That was Jeff.
Works
Okay.
for me.
Yes, I'll move that we move forward with a interactive narrative type Christmas Eve service. And it'll be up to the committee to do the details.
Okay. And is there a second?
I'll second.
As Becky seconded. Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 And those opposed? Okay. Okay, so that's it for discernment, correct?
It sure better be.
No, this is good. This is, we didn't have a meeting last month and we're going into a busy season, so there's no apologies needed. We got 4 minutes left here. Does anybody have any questions about the July minutes? I didn't have any changes or edits or suggestions for change at all.
I'm good with it.
Okay. Would you make a motion then, Tom? Or is there more discussion?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we approve the July minutes.
Okay.
I'll
And a
second that.
And that was Linda. And all those in favor, please say aye. Or raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed? Okay. Okay, so we've got three and a half minutes. So should we start with you, Tom, as a lay leader and see if we can get through you, and just know that after 3 minutes, I'll try to give you a little bit of a warning. You guys can see at the top too, it has the countdown. It's at 3:25 now if you look at the top of the
yes.
screen. So can you talk in 3 minutes about yourself, your lay
Abs-
leader? Okay,
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of things that, were just aimed at me. All I can report is how I participated. I've done some pastoral work with Pastor Linda, with a married couple. I have talked with her in length during our 7:30 coffee times. We try to support her that way. And that's a group effort, not just your lay leader. Nothing special. I've been liturgist a few times. I've helped set up during the summer worship services out on Fort Apache. That was fun. Really enjoyed doing that. That kind of morphed into something special. I was glad to participate in that. And if we ever have to go back to Fort Apache, I think it'll work again. So as your lay leader, I've been holding this church in my prayers every morning through the COVID mess. It has not been easy for anyone, nor did anyone expect it to be easy. So I've just been praying for God to guide us through this, help us through this the best He can.
okay,
That's your lay leader report.
okay. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Becky, do you want to quick? We've got a minute and a half. Do you want to talk about missions? I think it was going to be pretty brief.
It's just basically what I have to say is what I sent out today regarding the Happy Meal Ice Cream Social. It sounded like it was a really good turnout. So more than what I think we were expecting.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, in the
And-
relay, just for your own knowledge, the Relay for Life, we're having the same thing toward the end of September. It may drive through to raise instead of the Relay for Life
Good.
meal. So we're kind of using that as a model.
Good.
Yeah. And what, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Forgive me.
No, and then we raised $864.55. So I think it was good that we set a price.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah. And our next meeting is going to be Sunday, September 20th at 10:30.
Okay. Great. Great. Okay. Any other? We've got under a minute now. Why don't we end the meeting and come back and we'll get into UMW if you have anything to say there, Becky. How's that sound?
Okay.
So we'll see everybody on the other side. I'll just have Marilyn hang in here with us. Marilyn, you're still there, correct?
I'm
Okay.
still here.
Okay, good deal. So I end the meeting and we'll come back together in just a moment for that second invitation.